Philosophers. We're here to talk about everything and yet nothing and hopefully something. Enjoy. Please do not be offended by anything as we mostly talk in jest. Maybe something serious.
Okay. So.
Me making noise in the background. That's like evil clown shit, dude. Don't make that noise.
Speaking of clowns,
Oh,
one of the top searches on Google. I was watching Russell Brand. You ever watch him?
Russell Brand?
Yeah. He does a podcast called The Trues, and he was covering 2016, and he was going through just Google, and he was like, what are the top searches, like top celebrities for 2016 or top this or top that. And one of the top items for 2016 searches in Google, like number 3, was clowns.
Well, dude, that's because we had those clown people walking around in clown suits scaring the shit out of people.
Yeah.
Nobody appreciates a clown.
I think we should do that in Pensacola. Just
I
like
think
walk
not.
around and
No,
just see
man.
what happens.
Well,
What are the cops going to do? Like,
Brett, aren't
just
you terrified of
pop caps in you?
clowns?
I don't like them.
I don't like them either.
Why?
No, dude, clowns? Fuck clowns.
What about Clown Posse?
ICP?
Clown pussy?
Posse.
Well, I don't know.
Isn't that a band?
Yeah, it's a band.
Do they do makeup down there as well?
Where?
Well,
On Clown
Clown
Pussy.
Posse is like trailer park trash, redneck, Lollapalooza.
Yeah, where everybody gets like stupid high on like 15 different drugs and
meth
wears
and freaking Fireball.
yeah, like crazy fucking outfits.
And they have like wet t-shirt contests and
You
Yeah,
had
they're all
me
like
up until
fat,
you said
saggy.
meth. Yeah, you said dirty trailer park girls, and I was
That's all
like,
you
I'm
did.
fucking
Dude,
all
you'd
about
be-
that.
you'd be
I
all
want to
about
give
the
them a
posse.
bath.
Right?
They
I
all
just
have-
want to take one of them home and give them a bath.
They all have posse tattoos and like
So-
what's it? It's Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah,
right?
ICP.
Yeah.
I see.
It's the Hatchet Man that's running.
Yeah, you got to put on clown makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've seen it.
You put baby powder in your butt.
They
and
do
you fart on
They do
people.
documentaries and shit.
It's like a huge following, and it's
Yeah.
really fucking weird.
It's
They wear like trap pants,
it's
baggy
Mississippi's
pants.
version of Coachella.
It's
Yeah.
redneck.
Yeah,
It's redneck hippies.
the redneck version of Coachella.
And there's so many guns.
Guns and
Guns and
tramp stamps,
women
Oh, more than
who
just tramp stamps.
are
pierced saggy
aged
nipples.
beyond what they're supposed to be. Like the women at that place would be like what an apple would look like if
It's
you
just,
left it out in the sun.
I think
for
it's
a
really
year.
weird that people like, because some people like get totally white supremacists, but they talk like wiggers. They talk like they
Wait.
want to be black.
Who's white supremacist?
Just
ICP.
in general. You remember
no.
the dude that came in the store that was like, yo, what's up?
Oh,
And he like totally
Pirate?
talked like with a black accent. Remember? We were
Yeah.
going to talk pirate to him.
I did talk pirate to him. He just didn't get it. He was
He-
like, "Oh,
he
I
comes
guess."
out- He's got like penny loafers, like pleated dockers, and like a tucked in polo button down.
Yeah, like he could have came.
But he sounds like he's straight out of Compton.
Compton.
Straight out of
Compost.
Compton.
Straight out of Compton.
And he's like, I don't know, what, 200 pounds and like
Yeah.
5'8". But he's like super preppy from like Orange Beach, Alabama.
Like he looks like he gets mail from Yale.
From Yale. Yeah.
And he's like, yo, player, what to do?
Yeah, he is a what's up player. And I'm like, I look at him and I hear what's coming out and it's like the two don't connect. Like what he looks like
Yeah.
and what he sounds like is just like two.
Where did you find this accent?
You're confusing me with your
Yeah.
mouth words.
I just laughed because it was like a joke. I thought it was a joke.
Yeah, no.
But
then
he's like straight up serious.
yeah. I don't know where he got.
He
his
either
accent.
thinks he's black or wants to be black. I don't understand.
So while we're on that different topic, how do you guys liking the individual mics?
We need a third one so we can have a guest star like a Yoda.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, that's happening. But
Yeah.
now you guys
And
have
yours looks like straight up out of like Orson Welles' 1940
$24.
War of the Worlds.
this whole thing was $24.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was like $40.
So let's talk about the UFC fight, man.
Oh, Ronda Rousey getting knocked out in like 42 seconds.
48.
Yeah.
Yeah. So her big comeback, and the issue was when she fought well, let's start from the beginning. So Ronda Rousey was a judo silver medalist, and I want to say the first maybe Caucasian person to medal in the Olympics in judo. You know, because it's an Asian, obviously Asian martial arts. And so she was like this big phenom superstar. Her mom was really good, also judo, and used to armbar her at like 3 years old, like surprise attack in her bed, you know, at like, 10 o'clock at night. And so she was doing some of these,
Oh, guess what, Mom? I just put on a razor blade jacket. Come attack me while I'm trying to go to sleep, bitch.
And so Dana White was famous because people, as she was rising, Dana White, the president of the UFC, he kept getting asked, hey, when are you going to have women in the UFC? And he was like, cold day in hell, like never, I mean, every time he was like, no, not having it. And eventually the pressure, because she was so fucking good and like no one had a chance. And the odd thing about it is she was a one-trick pony. She had one move, the armbar, period. She hip tossed you, grabbed you, hip tossed you, armbar, boom, tap out. And everyone knew what her game was. No one could stop it, which was even more exciting because
it was her Kamehameha.
Everyone knows, this is what she's going to do. And they would train for 3 months to not let her do that. And then she would do that. So fast forward, and I actually saw her personally. I went to the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, which was her very first UFC fight. And talk about nosebleed. I was like, it was beyond nosebleed. I was literally sitting my back against a cinder block wall.
Oh,
I was in
ass.
the last row of seats in the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, like nosebleed squared. And this girl she was fighting
isn't good. Never mind.
Right. So this girl she was fighting was a Marine called Liz Carmouche, and Liz had her in a choke, a rear naked choke, was on her back, going to choke her out. Ronda Rousey was standing with Liz on her back, wrapped around her throat, going to tap her out. And everyone was like, oh shit, because this was her debut. And she leaned forward and slung her off, jumped on her, and tapped her the fuck out. And like 20,000 people were like goosebumps, just rah, screaming, hollering. It was like, unless you've seen a UFC fight or a boxing match in person, there's no way to describe it. What you see on pay-per-view or in your living room is not even close. So fast forward, she's like undefeated in UFC. She's armbarring everyone, blah, 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 blah. And she faces Holly Holm, who was I want to say like 4 or 5, 6 division boxer champion. And Ronda Rousey's got nothing for her. Jab, jab, pop in the face, pop in the face. Next thing you know, she kicks her to the head and knocks her out. Breaks her jaw, whatever. So Ronda stays out. She's the most popular athlete, not just male, but popular athlete. She won the ESPYs. She beat Serena Williams out in the ESPYs. She won the ESPY award. Wow. She beat all the NFL stars. She beat LeBron James as the #1 athlete of the year.
Mm-hmm. She arouses everyone.
Well, that. But she's ultimate crossover star. And she was a phenom. I mean, no one could touch her. She goes in the fight with Holly Holmes, gets jabbed, just looks horrible, and gets head kicked to the head, and stays out a year and a half, comes back against Amanda Nunes, Brazilian, shoulders like a dude, who fought Miesha Tate for the title, and just punked her out in one round. Mm-hmm. Jab, jab, right hook, right hook, right hook. And Miesha kept saying, look, I've never been hit like that. Miesha Tate, who was the former UFC champ, who beat Holly Holm, Holly Holm beat Ronda, Miesha Tate beat Holly Holm. Miesha Tate was a wrestling star from Washington State in high school that wrestled with men. Mm. There were no women wrestlers at her high school. She tried out. They couldn't stop her. So for 4 years, she did wrestling in high school with all men. Period. She's a bad bitch. I mean, she's like, no doubt, like tough as nails. And got knocked the fuck out in the first round with Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
So Amanda Nunes is who fought Rousey Saturday. And you would think Rousey would have some head movement, would get some angles. No, she comes straight in, gets popped with a jab, and instantly goes into defense mode and gets knocked out in 48 seconds. My guess, she's retired.
Yeah, she's not coming back.
I mean, you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, you got knocked out 2 times consecutively.
You have a glass jaw.
Well, it's just so weird how someone could be at the ultimate pinnacle of any sport and just come crashing down. I mean, we're from Pensacola. One of the most famous athletes from Pensacola of all times, besides, arguably Emmitt Smith, but Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
Roy Jones Jr. was the pound-for-pound baddest man on the planet.
Yeah.
4 weight division champion. Silver, should have won the gold, but got robbed in the Seoul Olympics. Won the silver medal in the Olympics. Was fast, lightning quick. Went from middleweight to super middleweight to light heavyweight to heavyweight, and then stepped down to light heavyweight and got knocked the fuck out. Never been the same.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a weird phenomenon to watch someone at the top of their game be so perfect, and then just one moment, and that just never be the same.
I feel like it's mostly you hit that peak, and then somebody comes up better than you, and it just destroys you mentally and physically.
It just goes to show. I mean, a lot of people talk about boxing or UFC or whatever sports in general. I mean, it's probably 80-90% mental.
Oh yeah.
You have to have a swagger. I mean,
look at Cruz.
I can't stand Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
But he's got this mental swagger, this cockiness, that this belief in himself. Mm-hmm. If you don't have that, you've got no business in a ring.
But look at Cruz. He let the mental aspects get to himself by the shit talking.
Well, and that was weird because here's Dominic Cruz again, UFC. He's a commentator, brilliant analyst. What was he? 22-1. His only loss was to Uriah Faber when he was like 21 years old, and he's been on this I mean, they called him the Dominator. Mm-hmm. The Dominator is his nickname for Dominic Cruz, and he's got such a weird style, footwork, in and out. And he was talking trash to this young kid, Cody Garbrandt, who's like 22 or whatever he is, 25, and he's trying to get in Cody's head, the young Lion's head, saying, "Look, I beat your coach. I beat your coach's coach. Everyone in your camp, 6 of them I've destroyed. All the people who taught you how to fight, I destroyed them. What you got for me?" But the weirdest thing is, young kid comes in at like 25 years old,
psyched himself out.
He's the one that looked calm.
Yeah.
He's the one that was trash talking and got in Cruz's head and just schooled him.
Mm-hmm. For real.
And here's the other sideline to the story. I don't know if you saw that, but apparently he's friends with this little kid that's like a 14 or 15-year-old kid that's had leukemia since he was born. And this kid's been fighting cancer and been battling cancer. That belt, I don't know if it's really gold. I don't know. It's 15 pounds. I think it's really gold. The UFC title belt, I think is really gold.
I mean, you probably earned real gold at that point in time.
So,
if you're winning like
Cody
$50,000
wins the belt from Dominic Cruz, who's one of the more dominant UFC champions of all time. In the ring, the kid comes into the octagon. As he gets the belt put on him, Cody gets the belt after winning. He hands the belt to the kid, because he promised this 14, 15-year-old kid that here's my goal is to win the title, but not for me, for you, because you're the true warrior, because you fought leukemia for 14 years of your life. You're only 14, and you're in remission. You've kicked cancer's ass, and gave the belt to the kid.
Wow, that's honorable.
So he wins the belt and then gives it to the kid.
Well, that's super dope. You were talking about how you don't understand how people become the best, or that it's in themselves, and that other people can be better than them.
Well, I just think it's weird that you can climb. You get this pinnacle, and then a lot of people, like this one one moment in time and they collapse and they're never the same.
Here's it reminded me of a parable I listened to the other day.
Brett's breaking out the Tao.
So there's this archer who's down in the town challenging everybody to archery contest. Killing everybody. Bullseye. 50 people he's just murdering. So then the greatest archer in the land hears about it. And he hears that the guy who's been beating people wants to challenge him. So after he's beaten X amount of people, the guy shows up and says, I hear you want to challenge me. Let's see what's up. So he said, follow me. And they start walking up this gargantuan mountain. They don't say anything to each other. The guy who's been winning is like, what the fuck is going on? Where are you taking me? Takes him up to the top of this mountain. And in between two mountains, there is a log that's connecting the two lands. And there's like 1,000 feet drop underneath this log. And it's an old log. So they come up to this area, and the old man says, cool, watch this. And he jumps on the log, walks halfway out on the log. This thing's old, like it's gonna break soon.
Yeah.
Pulls an arrow out, knocks it, pulls back, hits a tree dead center, like 400 yards away. And the dude's like, I'm not doing that. He's like, yeah, well, check this out. You might be the best physically, but you have to also be the best mentally.
Ouch.
For real. That's true, though. You have to.
I've always been fascinated by individual sports more so than team sports. And for that reason. Because there's only me and you.
Well, no, you always have a team.
Yeah,
Well, no.
you always have a team.
No. Well, I mean, you've got trainers and stuff, but like
That's a team.
a UFC fight, right?
Okay.
When it gets down to it, I'm in the ring.
Oh, yeah, it's just me
It's
and
me
you.
and you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
UFC, it's me and you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, tennis, you know.
I'm more fascinated by teams as a unit, like football and soccer.
Dude, if you want to know what soccer is supposed to look like when it's being played, watch Germans play soccer.
Oh, Germans are wild.
They don't run hardly ever.
Brazilians, man.
They just
I hate the ones that always fake an injury.
pass. The other team's running. Pass. No,
Yeah, it's kinda
we're gonna
like-
walk down the field.
If you
Pass. Goal.
if you're missing the strongest guy,
We're not. You see us pass it down the field the whole time?
if you're missing the strongest guy, like in a football team, it could ruin your whole game.
Well, and that's why
They could throw the whole team
when
off.
it comes to football, I like college better than NFL for that reason. Again, it's the mental and momentum.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
don't know,
in a
sports.
college game, I mean,
Sports.
you can have someone just kicking someone's ass, and like one bad play, and the
Can
whole
ruin
team just
everything.
deflates.
Just ruin
like
everything.
psychologically, the momentum just brrr.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and then the other team, the converse is true. Let's say you block a field goal, right? The other team blocks a field. In college, you know, I mean that's death. The whole team, like collectively, psychologically, just bleh.
Yeah.
You know,
I wonder
It's
what you
just so
could attribute
interesting.
that to.
Contribute what to?
dude.
Psychological downfall.
Mind over matter, man. I mean, a lot
It
of people
is.
talked about. I don't know if you've heard of the Cancer Treatment Centers of America. They're kind of
$14 a day.
not so much holistic, but they look at cancer from a bunch of different angles. So they look at chemo, radiation, blah blah blah, like traditional medicine, but they also look at diet, health, and a big part of it is psychology. And so when they get cancer patients, you do psychological evaluations and you have counseling, and basically they've got like a higher, like twice the success rate of any other traditional Western medicine facility.
Well, that's because they get involved with the patient.
That and it's psychological. They're like, look, you can beat this. So they work on the mentality, and you know, there's an argument to be had that you know your body is equipped to heal itself.
Yeah, because you're. If I stab myself with a pen, my body doesn't feel it. My brain feels it, because it's the nerves and it's sending it up to my brain, which tells me to go ow.
Oh, here's this crazy thing that they did with some brain surgery. They they would cut people's brains open, and you have to be awake when they do that, so you can be asked questions and shit to make sure that you're still around.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what they would do is they would like touch their finger and see what part of the brain would
Stimulate.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
just
when
stick
they
metal
touch their
probes in
finger.
you and shit.
When you touched their finger, they were like, "You're touching my finger." When they went up to the brain with the part that's so your finger gets touched, then your brain says, "Hey, dude, your finger's getting touched." When they went right up to the brain and said, "Your finger's getting touched with electrodes," they didn't register it right away. It took them a second.
So what does that mean?
So it's backwards. So you get touched, and the signal can, I guess, travel faster to your brain than
vice
your
versa.
brain can travel to
Your finger.
your finger.
Oh, your finger.
Weird.
That's fucking weird as shit. Dude.
Yeah.
Well, that's like.
Here's
what about
another
phantom
thing.
pains?
We'll check this
Oh,
out.
yeah. That's a good one.
I think what I was watching was something.
Something.
So they would have a computer
Dark
screen,
side.
and they were watching people's faces for specific emotions that would pop out for pictures that would shoot up on the screen. 3 seconds. 3 seconds. This picture would shoot up. They would read your emotions. People were registering the emotion before the picture showed up.
Okay, that's weird. That's almost like.
So we
psychic.
can your brain can slightly tell time
Okay, what about this
in the
one?
future.
What about this one? So this British college grabbed, I don't know, it was like 15 or 20 women, and they had 15 or 20 different men, and they had the men wear plain white T-shirts, and they weren't allowed to use any kind of deodorant.
Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Any like washing powder, scented washing powder, whatever. Here, wear this shirt, wear it for 10 days, whatever, sweat in it, whatever. And the women did this blind study, and they would smell the T-shirt and try to figure out what guy they were attracted to. Okay.
Cool.
And so the women would smell these T-shirts, and I'm attracted to this guy, I'm attracted to that guy.
He gives me a boner.
Well, they did these tests, and they figured out there's like 5 or 6 genetic markers. And so let's say you have a genetic marker A, B, C, D, E, whatever. And let's say A is like constitution, your immune system. If the girl was low in that genetic marker, her immune system was slightly lower, she would be attracted pheromone-wise to the sweat of a dude that was high in that genetic marker. So basically, across these 5 or 6 different parameters, the women are always attracted to whatever their genetics are weaker at, so that their offspring,
Stronger species.
exactly, would have the complement. They would be strong. Let's say the man is strong in A, B, and C, and the girl's strong in E, D, and F. The baby would be strong in A, B, C, D, E, F. And the other thing that they figured out is the girls that were on birth control, it totally whacked out the system.
Yeah, they didn't.
It falsified their genetics. So one of the conclusions,
They couldn't
in
register
this
what
study,
smelled good.
Yeah, this study was redone in the U.S. And what they figured out is the U.S. has higher incidence of birth control. So more women are on birth control in the U.S. than most other countries. And so when the girl is on the pill,
Thank you, Planned
her
Parenthood.
normal pheromones don't fish out what's a good genetic match. And so what they're thinking is the reason for the high divorce rate in the U.S. is the girl's on the pill, so you don't smell right. And when we first meet, I don't know that. And then we get married, and I get off the pill, and now you stink.
Oh shit!
Not like good weed.
Yeah, I don't know why you stank, but what it is, it's a
Lesbians
genetic
got the
for what
dank.
our children are going to be like, and so that's
what that means.
one of the reasons for the high divorce rate in the U.S. supposedly, according to the studies, is that the birth control masks your normal pheromone interaction on what a girl finds attractive in a man. You get
thing mine
halfway
got
into the
birth control
relationship.
afterwards.
You've been married for 5-10 years, and then all of a sudden, I don't love him anymore. I don't know why. He's a great guy. He's a good provider. He's a good father. But for some reason, I just don't love his ass. It's pheromones.
Just like women can smell
He's a good
testosterone.
provider. Dude, women can be providers too, okay? Stop being sexist.
Yeah, man. Wage gap.
I think that's also the reason why there's so many autistic children in existence.
Because people are getting married with against the pheromone, the natural pheromone.
Yeah, because that would be in not technological
nature.
society, those children would have been left.
Right.
Thrown into the pit, left to die.
Oh, straight Spartan style.
Yeah, that's what I
Well,
was saying.
Also, there's this big issue. They figured out BPA, which is a chemical in most plastics, that plastics basically don't break down. And so you throw plastic in a landfill, eventually it gets eaten by a bird, the bird shits, a fish eats the shit. You get this BPA in the bloodstream.
Deal with all these sardines.
BPA, yeah, I said that. But BPA is an estrogen synthesizer. So the human body mistakes BPA, that chemical, the molecule, for estrogen. And so what happens is a girl in the U.S. that's exposed to a lot of BPA, a lot of plastic in the bloodstream,
A
by
lot of
eating
estrogen,
fish,
probably a lot of food
estrogen,
we eat.
grows boobs faster. Like 8 or 9 years old, they're going through puberty.
I know.
And then
right?
there's all
Like,
these
get the
sex
fuck
clinics
outta
because people aren't getting pregnant and they
Why
can't
there's
figure
a
out
lot of
why.
pedophiles.
Because the dude's getting bombarded with an estrogen mimicker. You know, so is that one of the issues with autism and ADHD, ADD, whatever, is we're being bombarded with all these foreign compounds, plastics, pesticides, preservatives in our food, whatever. I mean, it's like literally no one understands the ramifications of all these weird chemicals. We just throw them out willy-nilly and don't even think about what could happen, later on down the road.
When do you know your child is autistic? And how do you know? No, they don't have the retard hand.
Well, there's a spectrum,
Everybody knew what I meant when I said that.
but a lot of
everybody does
a
that.
lot of
Pictured
it
it.
has to do with recognition. So as an infant, do they make eye contact? Or do they look away? A lot of autism is they refuse to
Are they
make eye
attracted
contact.
to a toy and go crazy when you take it away?
Are they like gun shy to noises?
Yeah.
I mean, you clap and they
freak out.
yeah. I mean, there's a whole list of parameters that shows that your kid's going to be somewhere on that spectrum.
What does that even? What does autistic even mean? First off,
It's basically you
can you
don't
Google that?
well you don't function well in a normal society. You're I've met several autistic kids. They will not look you in the eye. They just
They
will not look
just
you
can't.
In the
They just don't want to.
eye. They're ultra sensitive.
Well, when did they start doing that?
That's a recent phenomenon, and that's what I'm saying. It's something created by our society.
So, could it stem from, overall societal changes that went towards parenting
I think it's more
with the
biological.
helicopter parents?
It's more, yeah.
I think it's more
Because
biological.
if you don't learn shit as a child, then you don't know that stuff.
Yeah, but these signs of autism show up at 2 and 3 months old. It's a biological thing. And when I was a kid, and this is the difference. So your generation versus my generation.
Mm.
When I was in elementary school, we didn't have autism. I didn't know any kids that showed the signs of what we would call today
Right?
autism.
I feel like it can be broken down maybe to parenting.
No, it's
don't think so?
biology. No, it's 100% biology. So what I'm saying is,
So then how did it just come out of nowhere?
when I was a kid, the kids that were in my elementary school that had, what we would call retarded, whatever.
Autism, a mental condition present from early childhood characterized by difficulty communications and forming relations to other people using language, abstract concepts. He asked me earlier, asshole.
Okay, but wait.
No, man, fuck you. I've been waiting.
So anyway, when I was a kid in elementary school, what we had was Down syndrome. That was the big thing.
Yeah.
And you could physically see someone that had Down syndrome. And that was a chromosome issue, and it was caused by certain things, chemicals and stuff. Once they fixed that, they banned those chemicals, whatever. You don't see
Dude, fucking with Mike.
a lot of Down syndrome today.
Fuck you.
So now you see autism. But I didn't see autism as a kid. So it's something new. It's again, it's biology. It's probably chemicals that we have.
I flew by.
What,
Educate us on the Tao.
Are you going to educate us on what the fuck all these sardines are dying for?
Sardines?
Yeah.
It was not
I don't
just
know.
sardines. Before that, it was squid.
It was
Before that,
whales, yeah.
dolphin. Before that was whales.
I remember the squid and the whales.
Yeah, in Chile.
Yeah.
It
They're like ankle deep in sardines.
it's some people think it's Fukushima.
Fukushima.
Oh, that's totally a huge plausibility. They have boars there now that run the fucking shit over there because they're now radioactive super boars.
Okay, now explain Fukushima to me.
Well, Fukushima was the nuclear reactor that went tits up like Chernobyl in Japan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they're the only way to keep it from like a total meltdown and basically a nuclear bomb is to flood it with water. And so you flood this nuclear reactor, which there's no such thing as clean nuclear energy. That's just total bullshit. Okay. And so all this nuclear waste ends up in the Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
The way the currents go, they go from Japan down to Alaska, down California, down to Chile. A lot of people say, there's migratory patterns in the Pacific of all these animals, and they're getting bombarded with this radiation. By the time they get exposed to enough of it, as they move their way down the coast, they
go kaputs.
Yeah, it eventually gets toxicity, and they wash up on the beach in Chile. Another theory is that weird giant, whatever we talked about last time, the plastic death zone. That's
yeah.
In the Sargassum
Sea.
Yeah.
And that animals are going up there and they're feeding and they're looking at, like birds look at plastic particulates and they think it's like a grain or rice or whatever and they eat it. And then they get loaded with plastics and, it clogs their intestines, whatever, and they die. The sardine thing, there's also El Nino and La Nina, which is these weird currents that usually happen around the equator.
Mm-hmm.
And you create
Brings
these
warm
weird
water in.
algae blooms. And so basically, it's probably a combination of all of it. Our oceans are getting overfished. They're full of plastic. There's acidification, so the acidity level in the oceans is rising, which is bleaching the coral, which is killing off a lot of the breeding grounds that fish have.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fish are starving.
Yeah.
It's
already taking effect to the barrier reef.
Again, it goes back to humans can't seem to understand complex issues. We're a black or white, and you've said this 1,000 times. That it's easy for us to understand A versus B, but when you throw in option C, D, E, F, E, we just shut down. And unfortunately, the Earth is a very complex, multi-layered. Everything is interacted and interconnected, and we're just fucking bulls in a china shop.
I don't think so, man. I think we are just not shown how to think that way.
Hopefully,
what did you learn in school? You didn't learn anything. I did not fucking learn anything in school. I might have learned some math and some cool, fun facts that I can pull out of my ass every once in a while.
Right.
But other than that,
C in school.
I don't fucking.
Well, school.
We didn't
our
learn
current,
anything.
at least in the U.S., our current school system was developed in the Industrial Revolution, so 1890s through 1920s.
Which
is
now
when
makes
we
it ass backwards.
is when we fine tuned our educational system.
Yeah.
So
We were made
our
to be
schools-
works in factories.
exactly, our schools were set up to make little factory workers.
That's why everyone stands in line and there's bells.
Exactly. And I had this conversation with a teacher that we talked to, and I'm like, hey, when are we getting out of that? And she mentioned Montessori. She's like, well, there's Montessori schools, but unless it's a national directive or a state directive, we're just not going to do it. I mean, we should have schools in Socratic.
Well, maybe we'll
fashion.
get, more charter schools.
And that's not the answer, because
No,
charter,
well,
schools,
it's the same
charter
thing.
schools is just a private school, so you keep poor kids out, and kids from Gulf Breeze get to go to school when
Yeah,
everyone
but
else is like, fuck you.
it's just the same concept too.
Yeah,
It's
but,
the same books.
but they don't have to be. It's a private school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but
you
it's-
can teach what
but
you
it's
want in
but
there.
it's a for-
So
Okay.
they can become better throughout time.
Okay.
Because it would be.
What private school did you go to?
I didn't go to a private school.
Yes, you
Exactly.
did. Yes, you did. Didn't you go to ITT?
That's a private school.
What happened to them?
Well, they stole money.
That's what happens when you have a for-profit school. It's a business, not a school. And businesses are all about money. They don't give a fuck about education. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, sorry, our board of directors said, we didn't make 7% profit this year. We made 6%. Therefore, fuck you with students. You lived it. You lived it.
What other solution? Well, just because it failed once doesn't mean it can't work.
It's failed multiple times though.
Constantly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Capitalism
Though?
is never the answer. It's never the answer.
Then what is the answer? How do we make schools better?
Humanity, vision, leaders.
Yeah, but those are words. At
No,
least
it's a philosophy.
at least charter
It's a
schools
philosophy.
actually did something.
Yeah, you and I can form a charter school, and there's no regulatory committee that says, you know what, you need to have these parameters.
Yeah, there is.
It depends on the state.
It does.
It depends on the state and the county. A lot of counties and states have little to no regulations, restrictions, metrics. They just, it's like, yeah, I'm going to form a school.
And
So they
those are
found-
worse than public schools.
Absolutely. Because what
I don't know.
happens
Public
is-
schools are a piece of shit, dude.
Yeah, because
You don't
over-
fucking learn
over time.
anything in
Yeah.
public school.
Yeah, yeah.
And the only difference in charter schools is because it's a smaller class. And you learn more because there's no poor kids filling up the class.
What happens is you get
I don't think
People who
poor
start
has
charter
anything to do with
schools-
the ability to grasp knowledge.
it absolutely.
Well, charter
does.
schools charge you
What?
like $50,000 a
absolutely does.
year.
Just because you're poor doesn't mean you
Yes.
can't learn.
Are you ready for some knowledge? Knowledge bombs, motherfucker. Badoom.
Oh man, you need to tell Sean what I
Okay.
said to that lady yesterday first before this story goes on.
No, let him finish the story. Tell me after.
So,
Lame.
kids with money eat breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
It's a proven fact that kids who don't eat breakfast, because of the hunger pains and other issues, hormones, whatever is going on when you're fucking starving, you don't grasp education as well when you're hungry.
Yeah, you're grumpy. You're not in a good mood.
And so kids with single parents, kids that are from the ghetto,
can't afford it.
they can't afford breakfast. They don't eat breakfast. They're not taken care of correctly. They're not paying attention as much as kids that are rich, who have breakfast, who are fed, who have stability in their home life. If I'm living in the ghetto and my stepdad's, baby's daddy's, mama's, cousins, whatever, is shooting guns in the middle of the night or doing drug deals at 3 a.m., I'm not getting any sleep. I'm going to school with Ward Cleaver, who comes, whose dad's from Yale, who went to bed at a specific time every night, 7:30 p.m.,
With the teddy bear
8:30
tucked
p.m.,
in.
gets tucked in. Yeah, he's well rested. He goes to school. He's got a good breakfast. He's
Fuck
well.
that cunt.
Absolutely, there's a huge fucking difference between poor kids' ability to learn and rich kids' ability to learn. Bow, knowledge bomb. Scientifically proven.
All right, now what did he say to that lady?
Oh, he was just talking out the window, dropping knowledge bombs because he was,
about
I would
weed?
say, inebriated on the job.
Slightly.
He was inebriated?
Yeah, so as someone came through the drive-through, he was just like dropping like pearls of wisdom out the window.
I told her brain was Hiroshima and I dropped some knowledge bombs on her.
What'd you do?
I was just talking about weed stuff.
Oh, okay.
Amendment 2.
That was
Yeah, no, they pulled
a
up
useless
But
information.
to him, it meant something
No,
because
it was hilarious.
Weed was in the sentence.
Yeah, that had
Duh.
no,
Asshole.
no. It
Check
had
this
no
out, ready?
effect on me.
Dude, if it has weed in the sentence, it's like immense importance.
But
Right, bitch? Way to be supportive, dickhead.
go fuck yourself, okay? Bitch. But when it comes to the school system, I went to public school, just like I assume both of you did. The one thing about that I've noticed on public schools is you had the poor kids, and obviously you could tell that they were poor because they had the school pay their lunch.
Yep.
Yeah, and my little sister, goes to private school, and the way it's set up is still like public school. The state pays for it, but at the same time, the parents pay for it as well. So it's a cheaper private school, but it's still expensive. You're paying like $10,000 a year, and with most private schools, you're paying 50, 20, 100,000 a year.
I think the answer is, and this
Competition.
There's no competition. It's just how it is. We supply them with an elite curriculum. They go to this class at this time, eat this lunch, and they get this many calories a day.
To me, okay, what makes a difference between you and numbnuts at work?
Lots of things. My height.
Okay, I would here's my analysis of the difference. Is if two people go to work and one gives a shit and gives a shit about the appearance of their workplace, the aesthetics of their workplace, cares about the business that they're at, is the workplace going to be successful? How can I contribute? That mentality makes a difference versus person B shows up at work. I'm just punching a clock. I don't give a fuck whether this business succeeds or fails. I don't care what the business looks like. I don't care how people will view this business. I'm ate and skate.
Yeah, one person walks in with an objective. The other person walks in with no.
Okay, so take that same mentality.
Okay.
And you're a director of a school system. You're the what do you call it? The
dean.
Well, not the dean.
Headmaster.
No. What's the word for the regional person?
School board, district person.
There's a name for that.
District dean.
Mario Lopez?
No.
Yeah, Mario Lopez.
Wait, who's the guy who's in Full House? Uncle Jesse?
I forget. But anyway,
Uncle Jesse.
So whoever the head person is for the county schools, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to add somehow in the U.S. we have to weed out intent. Everything in life is about intent. And this comes from, I hate to say this, from doing a lot of psychedelics, is your intent makes a huge impact on how your trip's going to go. Mm-hmm. Okay, what's the intent? Am I here just to do this to get high?
My head's an orange, and I'm going to peel it.
And be recreational? If that's the case, you're probably not going to have as good a trip. Okay, or is my intent to open my mind, to learn things? You're going to have a totally different situation. Mm-hmm. So somehow we have to have checks and balances and processes and weeding out in the HR and staffing processes to hire superintendents of school.
There we go, yeah.
So does that person, are they just here to get a paycheck? Or do they legitimately want to make kids better? Do they want to change the process of education in general?
Yeah,
and so too many times, whether you're a mayor, whether you're a city councilman, whether you're a congressman, it's not about the betterment of your district. It's not about the betterment of the people. It's the intent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I went to
being human.
I went to school in 2 different states. I went to middle school and half of elementary in Nashville, and I was half of middle school and high school in Pensacola. And it's a night and day difference.
I went to Dodd School before I went to Pensacola.
But unfortunately, it has too much to do with the person.
Yeah.
That's like a judge, okay? Judges in this country have just immense power.
Oh, ridiculous.
And the process itself doesn't weed out or doesn't balance the personality. Follow me?
Yeah.
So you could have Judge A in Santa Rosa County and Judge B in Escambia County. Judge A is a pretty cool dude.
Laid
he
back.
cares about people.
Yeah,
Judge
okay.
B is a narcissist, fuckhead, power-hungry dickhead. There's no process, check, and balance to prevent that.
Yeah,
and that's
but
the same thing
you'd
in the
have
school
to get
systems.
it. That's weird, though.
It's
Like,
not
how
weird.
much would you
What
have
is
to get
weird?
involved in that person's life to decide
No,
that?
it's a simple. It's a screening process.
Well, how would you decide that? You'd
How-
have to get involved outside of what that person does at work.
kind of.
Yeah, but
There's-
that's not
Okay, if you sign
That's
up.
not. That's okay
if
to
you
go
s-
outside of that.
Okay, for instance, I went to school with a guy. I can't say his last name. His first name was Donald. I'm not gonna say his last name.
Duck.
Oh God
Yeah.
damn it!
So this dude
I was gonna say McScrooge.
is a Navy SEAL. He's a Navy SEAL now.
Okay.
In order to be a Navy SEAL, because I was friends with this dude, they do investigations. They do background checks. To part of the screening process to allow someone to be a SEAL in the U.S. is literally, I'm his high school friend. They knocked on my door. I had dudes in suits knock on my door and interview me and ask me about Donald.
Yeah, my friend.
Yeah, but those
same
people
thing.
are also given information that if they give to other people, they can get.
They have a super high security clearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
So-
top secret
Okay,
security
so
clearances.
work
That's
with-
why.
So work with me here.
Well, how many judges have top secret security clearances?
Work with me here. Are our kids important? Do we want them to have good educations or not? Why can't we just have a stricter screening process?
Well,
Is that
'cause
so
a-
just
a sh-
mind-blowingly difficult?
No, but a stricter screening process, you would have to dig inside that person's life beyond their job. What
Yes
if
and no.
outside their job they do
Or-
something that you don't agree with,
Or
and you say, "Guess what? You know, you have really good
negative
credentials.
Nancy.
You've got
Or-
really good credentials, but what you do outside of work, I don't agree with, so you can't have this job."
Or you have midterm evaluations like we did at Honda. At Honda, we did a 6-month evaluation. Every 6 months, you got evaluated. You got your bonus on the end of a year.
You got evaluated on what?
Your performance.
A whole list of
your
issues.
performance.
What's your job, though?
A ton of things. Morale, how you influence people. There's
Yeah,
a
but-
bunch of...
But there.
Okay, follow me. Stick with me for a second.
Okay.
So in 6 months, I would sit down with Brett and say, "Listen, dude, you're not getting along with people. You know, you've got to change your ways." I would criticize basically, and give you constructive criticism and allow you 6 months to change, so that in 6 months, when the year fully came, you got your bonus. In other words, I didn't give you an evaluation once a year. I gave it throughout the year incrementally, allow you time to change. So what if, as a superintendent, we had parameters, and if you didn't give a fuck, if it was shown, if it was obvious through your actions, like our coworker, that you're not a team player and you're not interested in continuous improvement or being, the problem is too many times we give someone a job and we don't evaluate them, and once they get the job, like tenure, there's no other checks and balances throughout the system. I'm just proposing that if you're going to be, that's kind of an important position, educating kids.
Oh,
So maybe we
super.
make it stricter screening, interviews, and evaluations throughout the year, throughout your job, once a year, once every other year. And if you start going down this weird path, you're not untouchable. The problem is too many people getting jobs like judges. Everyone knows their fuck-ups. For instance, here's an example.
There's no human being on the planet that you can point to and say, that person doesn't fuck up. That person doesn't
I
make
get
any
that.
mistakes ever.
I get that, dude. But
Yeah,
listen,
but no, let me go. Because what you're saying is you want your 6-month screening process that you do when they're working there, you want that to take place before they even start working there.
now, here's an example. Okay, I took Spanish. My Spanish teacher, we started with 36 students. We finished with 9.
Oh.
She was a train wreck. She sucked as a teacher. She could not teach. She was mean. She was relentless. She just wasn't a good teacher. Not everyone's good at what they do. That's okay. Okay, but here's the problem:
thing about teaching, anybody can be a teacher.
So if I'm a teacher and I suck,
4-year degree.
If I suck and I fail half my students, option A is I just continue as an establishment, as a college, I just let you continue to fuck people's lives up. Or option B, I have a mechanism, a policy in place to weed out bad apples. That's perfectly acceptable. In this particular case, my particular college, which I can't say online, 3 strikes. So they're going to allow her to wreck 3 consecutive semesters of students' lives before there's a check.
Yeah.
That's not fair, though. Question mark. No, I'm asking you. That's not fair.
Absolutely, it's not fair.
Why?
Why not handle right away? At the very least, if you're a teacher and you start with 36 students and only 9 make it to the end of the year, someone needs to sit down with you right then and say, actually probably halfway through the year, if you've gone 4 weeks or 5, 6 weeks into the semester and people are dropping like flies, someone should step in. If you're a responsible college, you should step in and say, okay, what's going on? Is it the students or is it the teacher? It might be the students, but at least have that investigatory situation. You know what I'm saying? Don't be hands-off.
Well, they do, because you said that
don't.
She's got 1 strike and she's got 2 left now, right?
No, they're going to let her go 3 fucking years. So how many kids at 36 students per class, how many classes she teaches a semester?
And eventually
6?
rumors will
Was that the
spread
first time she was
between
teaching?
kids to not take the class.
There's just other variables.
What I'm asking you to get through your head.
Okay, look, the only argument that we had was that what I thought you were saying is that you wanted to, before giving someone a judge job, finger quotes,
or a superintendent of a school,
that you would dive into their personal life to decide if they had correct morals to do that job.
I said stricter screening processes. That's it. In other words, don't just because you fog up a mirror doesn't mean you should get a job.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just
so
saying a
easy to
stricter
become a
screening
teacher.
process. For instance, right now as president, or let's say Trump's energy, what's his name? The cabinet of the energy?
Oh,
Rex
Tillerson.
Dancing with the stars is not a qualification. If I have to interview, if I have to have a resume and take a P test and do all these things to get a normal job, how come politicians can just be nothing and get a job to run multi-bazillion-dollar budgets with no financial background whatsoever? I've never run a business. And I've got good charisma. I've got a lot of backers that pay for advertisement, and boom, I'm in charge of bazillion.
Haven't we already semi-established that the world is run off of money?
Okay, what I'm getting at, we're not talking about what it is. We're talking about what it can be. My proposal is things don't have to be as they are. Things can be better if we want them. Society is how we decide to make it.
Yeah.
Now, if we have vision and we're not negative Nancy all the fucking time and just sit on our ass and say, well, that's the way the world is, we can say, you know what? Let's make the world like this. And we can set up parameters and set up checks and balances. We can have stricter screening. We can have, applications for politicians. You have to have minimum requirements to be a politician. If you're going to be a mayor or a senator or a congressman, why can't you put a resume forward just like, dude, if you have to put a resume to run Walmart, you should have to have a resume. There should be minimum things, and there aren't right now. But there can be. There can be. We can all get together and say, boom.
I like that guy. I want him to be president.
Yeah. Here's an example. In Alabama, there are 2 positions that require 0 background. Okay? One is the coroner. So in the state of Alabama, a coroner is an elected position. Yeah. Do you understand what a coroner is? That's who signs your death certificate. So who signs your death certificate determines how much insurance you may or may not get, right? because they determine cause of death. Okay, literally, a used car salesman can run for coroner with not even a high school education,
with no medical background.
And become the leading doctor in that county, the coroner.
That's ridiculous.
Here's position number 2, the sheriff. Here's the sheriff in charge of implementing and enforcing law for an entire county. That's an elected official.
Yeah.
You can have an 8th grade education and be popular and have a rich daddy.
Look,
Run for sheriff and get it. You don't even have to be go to, what is it? Cops go to the cadet school or whatever.
Yeah, academy.
No law enforcement.
Check
you don't
this
even
out.
have to have one law class.
I have an example.
And now you're the sheriff.
I have an example.
That's my point. That's how things are.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they have to
Like,
be that way,
I
but
know-
that's how we've allowed them to be.
I know one guy who ran, because in Louisiana have provinces?
Yeah.
Okay,
Parishes.
Parishes. He ran for sheriff in that parish. He has no high school degree.
It's a popularity contest.
Yeah,
Period.
he has no high school degree.
0 qualifications.
Was not in the military. He was not a prior police. No, not even a security guard. And he got votes, but he didn't win.
So all I'm proposing is that's how things are today.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they have to be that way.
No.
So can't we, as a society, be halfway fucking intelligent and say, you know what? To be sheriff, you need to have at least some kind of legal understanding
Some
of what
law
the law
enforcement
means.
background, yeah.
To be a coroner, you should have some sort of medical knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
To be a superintendent of a school, you should have some sort of educational background, and throughout the years of your tenure, you should be checked periodically. Are you doing the right thing for the kids? Or are you just in it for the money? To be a judge, are you being a dickhead judge? Are you ruling like in precedent? Or are you just being a dick and being like power hungry?
And they can do ridiculous
And
amount of things.
there's been example after example after example of judges that everyone knows are bad judges.
Yeah, and they can
But
send
we
you to
don't
jail
have
because
a
their assholes wet.
process set up on the books to get them out of there. That's our fault.
Yeah.
We can do that. We set speed limits. I mean, we do things. All I'm saying is it just seems like our country in general has this weird momentum where it's on its own. It's like there's no intelligent vision kind of tweaking it as it goes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, we've always done it that way. I come from a manufacturing background, so I'm trained in continuous improvement. You know, my mind's wired to look at things to make them better this year than they were last year, better this week than they were last week. But as a country, we don't do that. You know, things are put on the books, and it's almost like on autopilot.
Yeah.
And then everyone bitches about why it's fucked up. Well, it's fucked up because it's on autopilot and no one's stepping in.
Our election system is pretty much a fucking lottery on who is going to be elected.
Yeah, we just elected a movie star.
Yeah, a reality TV show host, and
that has a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean they
and he's orange.
And he's orange, Orange Julius. We pick people, we vote for them, but it's just like anybody can be run for president. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's cool though.
It's cool, but it can be bad. You can end up somebody like Trump with what we have right now.
Well,
it's fucked up.
Maybe, but he hasn't even done anything yet. So
he's done a lot of shit.
Yeah, he's done like crap.
And he hadn't even been sworn in.
He's not even president yet.
And he's already fucked shit up. He's not even sworn in, and he's
went against protocol.
Out other countries.
Talking to people when he shouldn't be.
Huge waves of issues. He's already a bull in a china shop.
I mean, that's due to our election system. It's so...
We're seeing
it's so old. It's just it's fucking
archaic.
old. Yeah.
And that goes back to my point about continuous improvement.
Exactly. It's never been tweaked.
You know, manufacturing, the reason businesses stay in business is because they tweak things, they make them better.
Yeah. I mean, there's no qualifications for anything. Anybody can be the head of EPA. Anybody can be secretary.
Which is ridiculous.
Anybody can
right
be
now
anybody.
They're making, what's his name? What's the dude that ran for president? Carson, Ben Carson.
Yeah.
Ben Carson is a brain surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's supposed to be a good brain surgeon.
Yeah.
He's one of the
best. Yeah.
Okay, so you know what he's going to be in charge of? HUD.
Yeah.
He's in charge of HUD.
Housing and Urban Development.
Mhm.
So somehow a brain surgeon
Is
is
in
going to be
charge
able to
of HUD.
handle real estate and housing.
Should be the Surgeon General.
What the fuck? That makes zero sense.
I completely agree.
Here's the funny part about that. When he was first offered the job, he said, "I don't have the qualifications."
Yeah, he even knows that.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, "What do you mean, dude? You tried to run for president."
It's like somebody,
Oops.
somebody who's qualified as an underwater basket weaver gets hired to be a Secretary of State.
Idiocracy.
It is full on 100%.
Electrolytes is what plants crave.
Man, that's what my avocado tree gets every day.
One
Gatorade.
bottle of Gatorade. Purple.
You know?
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. I think we need to change the way we elect, who we pick.
Dude, okay, look.
The education needs to be revamped. The medical system needs to be revamped. Insurance needs to be revamped.
Yeah. It's cool. Anybody
Politics
can be
needs
anybody,
to be revamped.
but it's scary.
Every process, every single system of everything we do needs reform.
It does.
Everything.
But to have it take a course of reformation. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you said that right.
Fuck yeah.
First, you have to have. First, you have to have
Well,
will.
For that to take place, a fucking shitload of people have to agree on it for it to take place.
True.
The voting system
It has
makes
to go
sense.
through.
Everybody
our
should.
government.
Everybody.
The only way for things to change is for things to be law.
Well, the
Yeah.
first step in understanding that you have a problem is you have to admit you have a problem.
100%.
Like an alcoholic.
I'm Sean,
and
I have diabetes.
Exactly. And the problem is, and this goes
Is
back.
smoking weed a problem?
I think the U.S. has a weird,
Little
like
bit.
psychological
Not like
disease. We have an
Alcohol Anonymous,
affliction,
though.
and it goes back to American exceptionalism.
Oh,
We think we're the greatest, and we don't think we have
I
any
get a story.
problems. So as long as we don't think we have any problems, we're never going to fix anything.
Did anybody hear? I 100% agree. Does anybody hear the story about what happened to the Hollywood sign?
Yes.
The
They changed it to Halloween.
Halloween.
And now they're investigating the perpetrators.
You know what their charges are going to be if they catch them? Just trespassing.
Yeah.
Because even the cops were like, "That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
That's
I
pretty
don't know why
dope."
no one's ever done that before.
Some stoners got together. Was like, why don't we change it to Hollywood? And then they did it. You can't argue with that.
Some stoner had a piece of paper and he lifted it up and was like, "Guys, this is gonna sound really dumb, but if we put white in between those O's, it'll say weed."
What?
Whoa!
Doing
and then
it.
one of his stoner friends was a doer and was like, "We are doing that." It's like,
And then it was
X6
done.
joints. We're walking up that hill.
I just haven't seen the picture
I
where it
have.
said it. You've seen the actual picture?
I've seen the
I've
actual
seen
thing. It was on
picture,
Facebook.
And I walked up that mountain, whatever the fuck it's called.
What they did was they took
Hollywood Hills.
the O's,
Oh yeah.
they blacked out a little part of it, and then they put the little line in between.
That's hilarious.
That's fucking genius. I don't know why anybody hasn't done this before.
Yeah, seriously, super very upsetting.
We're at 104. I mean, we can
Let's
keep
do
going.
this.
Okay. Just because I know he's gonna do it.
What?
Nothing.
You've got to do the closing.
I gotta do the closing. Well,
Shut off my microphone?
everybody, we appreciate.
Shut off my microphone.
I didn't shut up.
Did you shut off my microphone?
No, I didn't shut
That's one
off.
of my things not showing up anymore. La 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 la. You shut off my microphone.
I didn't shut off your microphone. It's
I'm
right
gonna
there.
Smack all those dials if you don't turn the microphone.
It's
back on.
right there. It's still on.
You did the red one. I watched you. Turn my microphone
back on.
Everybody, thanks for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe.